Hello everyone, welcome back to Strange Wonders. As always, I'm your host, Mr.G. Today, we're talking about animals that have a great defense. And by that, I mean they have armor. That's a terrible segue. Let's start with armadillos. Armadillos are one of many small mammals that are often mistaken for rodents, despite not being rodents. Instead, armadillos are closest related to sloths and anteaters. There are 20 species of armadillo, all native to the Americas, although only the 9-banded armadillo can be found in the US. But the thing that armadillos are most famous for is their shells, which is made of keratin, the same stuff hair and fingernails are made of, although it's obviously a lot stronger. As animals, armadillos don't really have much to worry about, as their shell is too tough for most predators to handle. However, no animal's invincible, and armadillos do have one pretty big weakness. They don't have armor on their stomach, so if a carnivore manages to flip them over onto their back, then it's pretty much game over. To counter this, some species can curl into a ball in order to make sure that their entire body is covered in armor. So yeah. Armadillos are also good at digging, so they can retreat underground if bothered. As for their food, armadillos are insectivores, with some species possessing a sticky tongue like their cousin, but some species of armadillo will also eat dead animals because hey, food is food. Now one last interesting thing to mention, the 9-banded armadillo always gives birth to identical quintuplets, which means it always has 4 children that are pretty much clones of each other. So that's interesting. Now, let's head back to the old world with another armored mammal, the pangolin. First things first, the pangolin and armadillo are not related. As mentioned before, armadillos are closest related to sloths and anteaters, and pangolins are closer to the carnivorous mammals, like dogs and cats. Anyway, pangolins live in Africa and Asia. They missed out on Europe because Europe refuses to have interesting wildlife. Like the armadillo, it possesses a shell made of keratin. However, their shells are a lot more like scales, like what you'd see on a reptile, rather than the turtle-like shell of an armadillo. Some species of pangolin are subterranean, and some are arboreal, meaning they live in trees. And some species can even spray their enemies with a stinky substance like a skunk. So yeah, that's pangolins. Like the armadillo, they also eat bugs, and yeah. Now that we know what we're dealing with, let's look at the cards. Alright, for the pangolin, they list only one genus, even though pangolins have multiple genuses, so 9 out of 10. But the 2 armadillo cards are fine. I can't find anything wrong with either the pitchigo or the giant armadillo. Now, let's talk about human relations. For armadillos, they're pretty infamous for ending up as roadkill. Now you might be asking, why is that? A lot of animals get hit by cars, why do armadillos get singled out? Well, you see, some species are scavengers, and because of that, they're attracted to dead bodies. And where would you find a lot of dead bodies? On a road, for other animals that became roadkill. So the armadillo will feast on the dead body in the middle of a road, and when a truck comes by, the armadillo doesn't have time to move, so ouch. As for pangolins, they are sadly one of many species thought to possess medical body parts, so as such, they are captured and killed for their scales to be made into medicine. And even though most countries have placed bans on hunting them, they are still said to be one of the most trafficked animals in the world. Okay, now that's just sad. See you guys next time when we talk about, hopefully, something that's not the most trafficked animal in the world.